We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
and I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2172. Today, Jill and I are talking about why consistency beats talent in land investing every time. I think consistency beats talent in anything.
That's true. Maybe I think consistency can actually produce talent.
People are wildly successful at anything that they put their mind to. If they're really organized, they're willing to criticize themselves and handle fear and failure and just process themselves right through it and have a lot of consistency for results. I don't care what you're trying to do.
Remember the Getty Lee show that you were watching? You got me into it.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the girl bassist from Hole, and how she was talking about it wasn't a natural thing for her. I don't think. I think for whatever reason she picked up the bass, and she didn't have that much experience when she got into it, but she was a chick, and that's what helped get her into it. And I think a lot of it was consistency. Right?
She fit the part, had the right attitude,
Yeah.
and showed up every day.
It's not like she was born with a bass in her hand. You know, it just it happened, and I think she made it happen too. So that's my interpretation on the bit that I saw. But so I just think too, I know from past members, we've had some members that we thought weren't going to make it, and boy, they proved us wrong because they had the attitude and the consistency to stay with it. So this will be good.
Jill and I stopped in northern Michigan 2 years ago to go to a July 4th party. And it was all my close friends from high school, all of whom I realize now, I didn't know back then. All of us are gross overachievers, all of us, every single one. So what ended up happening after that get together is I started looking up other people. You know, I haven't looked up any on the internet online and what they're doing, even from grade school. All of them, gross overachievers. I just got invited to a 60-year-old birthday party from a guy I went to college with, and it's just so that opened up a whole different Google search and it's gross overachievers. And those guys are not smart, I'm telling you. Neither am I. But I'll tell you what we are. We had a desire to do some stuff good with our lives and make some money. Mm-hmm. That's what this is, really.
It's good.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
All right, Matt wrote, I've got a property in the market in blank county, Kentucky, and I have an offer for full asking, but the buyer wants to pay $60,000 in cash and then seller carry, meaning Matt, the rest with a note and agreement that if I'm not paid in full in 12 months, he would deed the property back and I would keep the down payment. Well, unless it's $1 million, I mean, I'm kind of liking this. He has a property he's got to sell back in Arizona. I'm not interested myself, but does anyone here want to carry a first position note for around 50% of loan to value with these kinds of terms? No discussion of points or interest rates or anything. I don't have any credit information, but I have asked what is the property wants to sell in Arizona, both so I know if it's sellable and maybe if I want to buy it. I love this.
You do? Because that's why I put this in here. I was going to ask you in great detail, what do you think about this?
I kind of like it. I mean, for $60,000, I could that'll afford me to put it back on the market if I have to and undo anything. Huh. I kind of like this. You don't like it?
It's not the business we're in.
Well, I know, but that's true. There is that.
The reason I put this in here was Jill Bait.
It was Jill Bait. That's good.
I hate stuff like this.
I know.
I bought a property for $30,000. It's for sale for $90,000, let's say. Oh, here's $60,000 cash, but you can keep it if I don't pay. Of course he's not going to pay.
Well, here's my other thought.
And then there's going to be this, I need my money back. And now we're in the babysitting, bill collecting business instead of being amazing acquisition people, which is what you and I are.
You know, a better thing would be to go to, well, A, the group, see if anybody wants it. B, the guy should just go to somebody like Rural First and get a traditional loan with somebody else where, Matt, you're paid in full, and then they deal with the loan later. I like that.
Managing loans can work for certain people. and I have had many loans actually, and most of the time it works out. There's a lot of things that go on with seller financing that I don't like to be involved in. And I think that's one of the differences, in a really good way, one of the differences between you and I.
Okay.
Like, you're willing to get on the phone and work with the people to a certain degree.
True.
This is
Well,
not.
I already have an idea here too. What's wrong with what's the Arizona property worth? Excellent. It's worth 70. He's trying to sell it. It's worth 70. He's trying to sell for 80. Who knows, whatever. Tell you what, we'll call it worth 30. So you give me 30 cash and that property, and we walk away. There should be something like that. And then everybody's made whole, and I'll go sell this thing. That makes sense to me.
I've been doing this for 30 plus years. And when people start saying this wheelie dealy thing, it's like buying silver in Mexico, buying silver jewelry in Mexico to me.
How many more margarita glasses do we need?
There are people who like to negotiate,
Oh,
and there are people who do not. I do not
understand.
like negotiating. I like making money. I like buying a piece of property and putting it through a machine-like channel and having it sold and getting more money back.
yeah.
That's not what this is.
All
I'll bet you $1 this fictitious property in Arizona that the seller has, he's in the same situation.
Oh,
And now the one in Missouri or in Kentucky, he likes more.
yeah. That could be. You might be right.
And then there's going to be something else in Kentucky after that.
That's good. All right. Major point.
I'm not saying my way is right. I knew that Jill loves this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think I just had a good solution for everybody. I like to think everybody. That's what I do, though. I'm going to take all the information and try to figure out a way that everybody's going to win. And I think I did. If there's a number that makes sense for the Arizona property to you, Matt, and then the guy has to make up the difference in cash, now we're good. Like I said, everybody wins. Matt, you should feel really good.
Yeah, Matt, you should. This is a win for you no matter what.
Yeah.
Just pure money, you're going to win.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
There you go.
I said that to somebody recently on a coaching call. This could work. It's a lot of work, and I'm personally, and you know what they said? I like a lot of work. I like complicated deals. Today's topic: why consistency beats talent in land investing every time. We are
Okay.
conditioned from children.
Right.
We are conditioned from the time that we are children to be good at something, and to be good at math and just whatever topics are in school, or maybe it's sports. What never gets discussed in an academic environment ever is the stuff that goes on that's associated with being successful. If you're great at basketball, awesome, you're going to be a great basketball star. You still have to have a mortgage, and you still have to figure out what's going to happen, do the paperwork to sign up for this and do an application and the whole thing. It never gets discussed. If you're great at math. So what ends up happening is we get older, we apply for and get jobs that we all end up hating really soon. Actually, you find this out around mid-20s. And then after that, you start to say, this is not what I expected. This is not the life I want. My parents are awful for not telling me that this is the reality of things. And my teachers, forget it. That's why they went and chose teaching, because they don't have to deal with reality. That's what academia is. They're just a student now on the other side of the room forever. So what do? You say things to yourself like this. Well, I like baking cookies. I have my grandmother's recipe. Everybody loves these cookies. They're the first thing to go at any potluck that I've ever been to. And I bring them to people's houses. They're gone within 5 minutes. I'm going to start a cookie business. They have no idea what's involved in that. None. And that's why there's such a high rate of failure with startups and business acquisitions. Every time, I haven't watched a lot of Shark Tank. Jill's watched a lot more. In fact, most of the times I've ever seen it, I'm just kind of looking over Jill's shoulder. And every time somebody stands up there and pitches a product, and there's an old guy or an older woman with gray hair standing in back being quiet. The product is pitched. Everybody's lukewarm on it. The whole panel's lukewarm on it, like they always are, until the person with the gray hair says, I did 2 of these before. We sold it to XYZ private equity company, and our exit was, this is what we got on our exit. And every single person now is bidding against each other to be involved in the company because they don't care about the product. The product is insignificant. Your personal talent is insignificant. What matters is they've been through the process. They know the trials and tribulations of raising money and getting and how to work-life balance and what they're going to say to their wife when they're not going to the thing they were supposed to go to socially that weekend. And that's what having a business is.
I was thinking about, isn't it Michael Jordan? I wrote down Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. And correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't those two? And I'm sure there's a laundry list of many, many more that I can't think of. That part of their whole thing was how much they practiced over and over and over in a young age. Am I remembering right?
I think it's Kobe Bryant.
Kobe,
yes.
Okay. I'm trying to remember who, but
I'm sure all of them.
Yeah,
that's
I'm sure
all
of them have that.
I'm sure.
You know, I mean, it's really rare to wake up and go, you know, ping, I can hit a baseball. I never practice. I got it. That's really, really rare. Most of the time, these guys, we don't hear about it. We only hear about the successes. We don't hear about the failures, right? But until later on in life, they write books about their failures or they share it later on, like how many hours they spent before practice and after practice on their own, hitting those free throw shots and all of that till they got good. So it's kind of like that. And I think in our world, it's not, you don't have to show up. You know, maybe I would say showing up early and staying late, you know, maybe you do. You might watch, maybe the average person, I'm not sure what it is. So I'm going to say the average person watches our education program 3 times. You know, usually you go through it quick, then you go through it and you really pay attention to it. And then you go back into it and you're like, okay, these are the places I know I need to really study going on. And then I'm going to throw in there, if you're really sharp, once a year, you go through it again. You really should, to remind, because you're going to look at, because things didn't change, but you changed a year from now. And now you're going to pick up on things you didn't pick up when you first did it. So that's a valuable thing too. But I should bring that up on our member call today. But so so maybe the average is 3 to 5. But maybe I need to watch it 10 times. So flippin' what?
Well, you study.
Nobody knows.
You're not watching it.
And you don't get an award for doing it once and doing that. You know, you are learning it every time and you're picking up on more things. So consistency beating talent is like even putting in the time and putting in the work for me. And you will get yourself there.
You have natural social talent. No matter what you would do for a living, it's going to shine. The reason that you make so much money doing it, Jill, is because your implementation of your talent is consistent.
Do you know what part of it is for me, by the way? You and I didn't like, well, we got this land business licked and walk away and just like stay out of it. I stay in it, and I know you do too. There's many parts of our business that I don't have to get involved, but I do. You know why? And part of it is because of Land Academy. Like, I want to stay fresh and stay current for not only our members, but for my brain. I like when we go to a new area and I don't know anything about this area. I'm taking those calls. I'm going to get to learn the area too. I'm going to use this at some point, you know, and you know, for coaching and for all the other things that we do. And it's just who I am. I kind of like to learn.
There has to be a motivator behind, in your soul, at the deepest, darkest place in your soul, some type of motivator for the decisions that you make.
I like that.
And so for me, it has always been, as long as I can remember, not working for anybody else. And it's not because I don't like people or any of that. Some of that might be true. I just can't stand the idea of somebody else controlling my time. So I did then and now, whatever it takes. I don't care what it is, whatever it takes. It might be working 20 hours a day. I don't care. I'm going to do that. And I might make no money for 5 years. I'm actually writing a book about how we all got here. And it's more than halfway done. And I'm realizing, looking back, writing this, that I was doing whatever it took to never work in a restaurant again. And it's not a restaurant, just ever work in any environment like that again.
That's good.
So it meant, in the end, for me to be organized and consistent.
Yeah, that was good.
Join us tomorrow where we discuss what a recession could mean for land investors and how to prepare. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.